Good evening. This is Doc Severson for the Theo Night Report for Thursday, September 21st. We'll start out tonight's report with the S&P 500 cash index, and you can see how the S&P has been moving here. Off the election bottom, strong move off of here, strong secondary move, but ever since that point, every subsequent move has come just smaller and smaller and smaller, and is requiring more consolidation to build up the next move. More consolidation to build up the next move. Even in the middle of a move, we have consolidation now. Building up here around 2,500. It seems that nobody's really buying the highs, which is what we've been saying. The only way we get any kind of upside progress is that when we have a quick downdraft that builds up a lot, short interest, that gets squeezed out, then we end up printing new highs, but there's no follow-up buying to this. So we all know how this is going to end at some point. As long as the music keeps playing, this game of musical chairs will keep on going, but each subsequent move is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and the risk is, of course, to the downside. So it's not that we're utter, complete, and total bears. It's just that we're looking for this market to kind of hit the reset button. At least that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for this market to maybe come down and set up a larger range, not unlike what we did back here in 2015, 2016. Now, admittedly, this is a larger consolidation that we had, but this was necessary after we hit this exhaustion level back here near the end of 2014. So this is what markets have to go through when they trend like this, is that range expansion leads to range contraction. Now, one of the things that I used to do earlier in my career was I would say, hey, this is a great market for iron condors because the market's not going anywhere. It's just going flat. Well, that's true to some extent, but what you're missing and what I had to learn back then is that the risk always comes to the downside and will blow up those trades. So these things will come at some point sooner or later, and they will cause maximum pain. And what we're also seeing is that any kind of downside dip is causing a strong upward movement. And with today's ultra low implied volatility, you have no room to work with. You're playing close quarters battle with their strike prices on here. So right now, iron condors are not that great of a trade. We have not really been focused on those since really the Brexit time. All of this was actually fairly good from an iron condor perspective. We could kind of launch our trades far out of the money, keep them above resistance, below support, and those are good days when you have that implied volatility that you can work with that. But since then, not really so much. So one of the trades that we've been working on lately is called a ratio butterfly. Now this is what the trade kind of looks like from an analyzer perspective. So there's no risk to the downside whatsoever. There's a credit that is just kept if the price goes to the downside. So that's important, that you want that unlimited downside profitability for a trade like this. The other thing that we see is that there is still some upside potential for the price to go up here, which is normal in this market, that we're getting these grinding moves higher, just incremental, just grind higher. So any strategy that we do, which is a short delta position, which is anything that is looking for the price to essentially go down. So you can see that here, short delta position is what it wants. Needs to have a little bit of room to work with to the upside. The other thing that we're seeing here is that we're a limited risk on the trade, is that if this thing does bust a move to the upside, is that we've limited the risk on this and we've done the best job that we can. Now, this is also somewhat similar to the, long time, very vaunted broken wing butterfly. So basically just setting up a butterfly and then extending out the long strike, and causes the same type of graph to this. This is actually just a ratio butterfly, and it's really doing about the same thing. It's just easier to set up. Now, how do we set up these trades? Why would we want to set them up? Do we just get a feeling to say, well, I think the spiders, I think I'm bearish on the spiders? Well, you can do that, but I prefer to find these through scans. And so this is one of the things that we've done, is built a scan around here. And what we're looking for on this scan is we're looking for, so not only one time frame, so we're looking for exhaustion on the daily chart, but also on the weekly chart as well too. So this has got a fractal nature to it. So exhaustion within exhaustion. So this multiplies the effect of the price more than likely kind of getting flamed out here and consolidating in a short period of time, or within at least an area here, and allows the trade a chance to work, right? So we're scanning against a fixed watch list that we've already scrubbed for liquidity on this. And then we're also looking for the price to be above this 21 period exponential moving average, just to ensure that we're doing this through an uptrend. You don't want to do a trade like this on a downtrend, on something that's moving down, because then it's likely to reverse quickly back up, and this would not be a good trade in that condition. So if we go over to the chart again, what we're looking for is something like this, where we have exhaustion on the weekly chart, exhaustion on the daily chart. So exhaustion means it's a very strong linear move. And also, look at this, the price is right up to that former resistance level, which is right around $98 per share. Now, is there any law that says that the price has to stop there? No, it can do anything it wants to. But also note that $100 is just above there, and round number resistance offers sometimes another place for the price to pause. The reason for that being is that people take profits around there. Maybe there's some sell orders around there. So anyway, we're looking to stack our probabilities on this, and this one actually looks like a pretty good setup for something like that. And that is it for tonight's report. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you this weekend. Take care.